Richard, her fiancé of 6 months, a retired investment banker with silver hair and expensive watches, smiled indulgently. I stared at the photos. My beach house. The one Grandpa left me in his trust. The Cape Cod cottage I'd spent every summer in since I was 6. You can't sell my house, I said quietly. Mother laughed. Darling, don't be dramatic. That old cottage has been sitting empty for 3 years while you waste your life in that nonprofit job. Richard and I are getting married in October. We need capital for the Scottsdale property. This sale is a gift. You'll get a portion of the proceeds. A portion. I set down my fork. It's my house. Technically, it's in the family trust. I'm the trustee since your father passed. I have every right to liquidate assets that aren't being properly utilized. She sipped her wine. You should be thanking me. That cottage needs $200,000 in repairs you can't afford on your little salary. My little salary was $68,000 as program director at a women's shelter. Mother had never forgiven me for choosing social work over law school. The closing is Monday at 2 p.m., Richard added smoothly. The movers are scheduled for Tuesday. You have until then to collect any personal items you want to keep. I want to keep the house. Mother's expression hardened. Natalie, you're 34 years old. It's time to stop living in the past. Your grandfather left that property in trust for the family's benefit, not as your personal shrine to childhood memories. The sale is happening. Make your peace with it. Around the table, my stepbrother Trevor and his wife Melissa nodded along like this was perfectly reasonable. I stood up. I need to make a call. Sit down, Mother commanded. We're not finished discussing. I walked outside and called the one person who'd understand. Ellen Rodriguez, my grandfather's estate attorney. Ellen answered on the second ring. Natalie? Everything okay? My mother is selling my beach house tomorrow. She says she's trustee and has the right to liquidate trust assets. What? That's impossible. Your grandfather's trust explicitly. Papers rustled. I'm looking at the trust documents now. The Cape Cod property is held in an irrevocable trust with you as sole beneficiary. Your mother is not the trustee. Hold on. More rustling. Natalie, who's the trustee listed on the sale documents? Mother said she is. After Dad died. Your father was never the trustee either. The trust designated First Harbor Bank as corporate trustee. Your mother has no authority to sell that property. None. My hands were shaking. She has buyers. She's closing Monday. Not legally, she can't. I'm calling the title company right now. What's the listing agent? I pulled up the photos Mother had shown me. Coastal Elite Realty. The agent is Vanessa Chin. I'll handle this. Don't worry. Ellen called back 20 minutes later. The title company never received the actual trust documents. Your mother provided something called a trustee affidavit, claiming she has authority to sell. The title company accepted it at face value without verifying. Can they do that? They're supposed to verify, but many don't because it's expensive and time-consuming. Your mother exploited that gap. She created a fraudulent affidavit and used it to list your property. What happens now? I've emailed the title company the real trust documents showing you as sole beneficiary and First Harbor Bank as trustee. I've also sent a cease and desist letter to the listing agent. The sale cannot proceed. If it does, it'll be void and everyone involved could face legal liability. Will they stop it? They have to. Once they know the seller lacks authority, proceeding would make them complicit in fraud. The sale will be cancelled. I sat down on the curb outside the restaurant, relief flooding through me. Natalie, Ellen continued, her voice careful, your mother committed fraud. She created false documents to sell property she doesn't own. This is serious. You could press charges. I just want to keep my house. I understand. But you need to know, if she did this once she might try again. We should discuss protecting your interests going forward. Mother called at 4:30 p.m., her voice ice. What did you do? I called Grandpa's estate attorney. You had no right. I have every right. It's my house. You lied about being trustee. I am trustee. Your father. Dad was never trustee. First Harbor Bank is. You forged documents to list my property without authorization. Silence. Mother. You're making a terrible mistake. Her voice was low, dangerous. Richard and I have already committed to the Scottsdale property. We've put down $100,000 in earnest money contingent on this sale. If you block this, we lose everything. Then you shouldn't have gambled on stealing my house. I'm not stealing. That cottage is wasted on you. You visit twice a year and let it rot while Richard and I could sell it and keep the money for your new marriage. I understand perfectly. If you don't withdraw this objection, you're no longer my daughter. Okay. What? If that's the price of keeping my home, I'll pay it. Goodbye, Mother. I hung up. The title company called Monday morning at 9 a.m. Ms. Bennett? This is Carol Zhang from Coastal Title Services. I'm calling about the sale of 847 Beechwood Lane. Yes. We've received documentation indicating that the seller, Linda Bennett, may not have authority to sell this property. Can you clarify the ownership structure? The property is held in an irrevocable trust created by my late grandfather, Thomas Bennett. I'm the sole beneficiary. First Harbor Bank is the corporate trustee. My mother has no legal authority to sell. I see. And you're objecting to this sale? Absolutely. The property is not for sale and never was. Understood. I'm canceling the closing. The buyers will be notified immediately. Thank you. Ms. Bennett, I need to inform you, we're reporting this to the State Real Estate Commission and potentially law enforcement. Your mother submitted fraudulent trustee affidavits. This is a serious matter. I understand. The explosion happened at 10:15 a.m. Mother called screaming. The buyers are suing you. They put earnest money down. They gave notice on their current home. This is your fault. It's your fault for attempting to sell property you don't own. Richard and I are ruined. We lose the Scottsdale deposit. We lose our credibility. Our wedding is in October and now we have nothing. You have whatever you had before you tried to commit real estate fraud. Fraud? I'm your mother. That house should have been mine. Your grandfather favored you because you were his precious little shadow, but that cottage belonged to the family. It belongs to me. The trust is explicit. You knew that and you lied anyway. I'll fight this. I'll sue the trust. You'll lose. Alan Rodriguez has the original trust documents. Every attorney in this state knows you can't break an irrevocable trust. You have no case. She hung up on me. Richard called an hour later, his smooth voice replaced by barely controlled rage. Your mother invested $100,000 of her savings into our Scottsdale deposit based on this sale. That money is now gone. We're out $100,000 because you're being selfish about a house you never use. I use it several times a year. I pay for its maintenance. It's mine. You make $68,000 a year working at a homeless shelter. Women's shelter. Whatever. You can't afford the property taxes on that beach house, let alone the repairs. Your mother was doing you a favor by selling it before it becomes a financial burden. Then why was she keeping most of the proceeds? Silence. Richard. The sale was $920,000. Your mother planned to give you $200,000 and use the rest for our new life together. That's more than generous given your limited financial contribution to maintaining the property. Why limited contribution? I pay $18,000 annually for taxes, insurance and maintenance. Mother hasn't contributed a dollar in 3 years. She's the trustee. No, she's not. She lied to you too, Richard. There is no trustee authority. She forged documents to steal my property and fund your retirement dreams. You're lying. Call First Harbor Bank. Ask for the trust department. They'll confirm I'm sole beneficiary and your fiancé has no authority over the property. I hung up. The fallout was swift. The buyers sued Mother for $50,000. Their earnest money plus costs associated with breaking their lease and preparing to move. The Scottsdale sellers kept Mother and Richard's $100,000 deposit when they couldn't close without the beach house sale. Richard called off the engagement 3 days later. Mother blamed me for all of it. She showed up at my apartment on Thursday night looking 10 years older. Natalie, please. Richard left me. I've lost $150,000. The buyers are suing. I need you to authorize the sale of the beach house so I can recover. No. Please. I'm your mother. I made a mistake. You didn't make a mistake. You committed fraud. You forged trustee documents, lied to buyers, lied to your fiancé, and attempted to steal my property. That's not a mistake. That's a crime. I was desperate. Richard wanted a fresh start. I wanted to give him. You wanted to use my inheritance to impress your boyfriend. And when I wouldn't cooperate, you tried to take it anyway. She sat down on my doorstep, crying. What am I supposed to do now? The same thing everyone does when they face consequences. Figure it out. You're really going to abandon me? Your own mother. You tried to steal my house. You forged documents. You prioritized your new relationship over your daughter's inheritance. And you're surprised I won't rescue you from the consequences. That house was supposed to be mine. Your grandfather should have left it to me, not you. And there was the truth. He left it to me because he knew you'd sell it the moment he died. He created an irrevocable trust specifically to keep you from liquidating his legacy for quick cash. And he was right. Mother stood up, tears gone, replaced by cold fury. Keep your precious beach house. Sit in it alone and remember that you chose property over family. I hope it's worth it. She left. The State Real Estate Commission launched an investigation. I received a call from investigator Paul Chin in November. Ms. Bennett, we're reviewing your mother's attempted sale of your property. The fraudulent trustee affidavits she submitted are serious violations. We're considering criminal referral. What does that mean? It means your mother could face charges for real estate fraud, forgery, and filing false documents. If convicted, she could face up to 3 years in prison and significant fines. I don't want her in prison. I just want to keep my house. I understand. But this isn't just about your case. We've discovered your mother attempted a similar scheme 2 years ago with a different property, her cousin's vacation rental. That case was settled privately, but the pattern suggests this is her MO. We need to stop it. I hadn't known about the cousin's property. What do you need from me? Your cooperation with the investigation. Testimony if it goes to trial. Documentation of the trust, the fraudulent affidavits, the timeline. You'll have it. Mother was charged in January, 2 counts of real estate fraud, 3 counts of forgery, 1 count of filing false documents. She pleaded not guilty and hired an expensive attorney who argued she'd misunderstood the trust structure. Ellen Rodriguez destroyed that defense by presenting documentation showing mother had received copies of the trust documents when grandpa died. She'd known exactly what the trust said. She'd simply chosen to ignore it. The trial lasted 1 week. Mother's attorney tried to paint her as a confused widow who'd made an honest mistake. The prosecution showed the forged trustee affidavits, the text messages between mother and Richard planning how to spend the beach house money, and evidence of the previous attempted fraud with the cousin's property. The jury took 4 hours. Guilty on all counts. Sentencing was in March. Mother received 2 years in prison, $200,000 in fines and restitution, and a lifetime ban from serving as executor, trustee, or agent for any estate or property matter. She stood before the judge, crying. I'm a 62-year-old woman. I made a mistake. I don't deserve prison. The judge was unmoved. You didn't make a mistake, Ms. Bennett. You executed a deliberate fraud spanning months. You created false documents, deceived buyers, and attempted to steal property from your own daughter. This court takes elder fraud and family exploitation seriously. The sentence stands. Mother looked at me as they led her away. Her expression was pure hatred. I felt nothing. I spent 3 weeks at the beach house that summer. Repaired the deck. Repainted the shutters. Replaced the old dock that Grandpa and I had fished from 20 years ago. The house was worth approximately $1.1 million now. Mother had tried to sell it for $920,000. Keep $720,000, and give me $200,000 of my own inheritance. I would never sell it. Not for $1.1 million. Not for $5 million. It was the last piece of Grandpa I had left. The place where he taught me to fish, to sail, to appreciate silence and solitude. Mother had tried to take that and turn it into a down payment for her new marriage. She'd failed. Ellen visited me at the beach house in August. How are you holding up? I'm okay. Better than okay, actually. Your mother wrote to me from prison. She wants to appeal the conviction. She's asking if you'll write a letter supporting reduced sentencing. What did you tell her? That I'd pass along the request. The decision is yours. I looked out at the ocean. Waves rolling in, constant and predictable. No, I said. She made her choices. These are her consequences. Ellen nodded. For what it's worth, I think your grandfather would be proud of you. He protected this house so you'd have a foundation. He fought to keep it. That takes strength. Mother gets out in 18 months. She's written me 6 letters. I haven't opened any of them. My stepbrother Trevor sent a message saying I should find forgiveness and remember family. I blocked him. The extended family mostly sided with Mother, the poor woman who made a small mistake and got destroyed by her ungrateful daughter. I don't care. I learned something important. Protecting what's yours isn't selfish, even when family calls it cruel. Mother tried to steal my inheritance because she thought I wouldn't fight back. Because I was just a social worker who couldn't possibly understand property law or have resources to stop her. He was wrong. I fought back. I won. And I'm keeping the beach house. Not because it's worth $1.1 million. Because it's mine. Because Grandpa trusted me to protect it. And because nobody, not even my mother, gets to take that trust and call it love.